Hi, I'm Danielle Jones, and this is the Art of Rehabilitating Depression. Depression is an insidious and silent killer that causes significant distress and suffering in hundreds of millions of people. Depression is the leading cause of disability around the world, and it afflicts nearly 400 million people worldwide. And it afflicts the young and old indiscriminately. Depression can take a devastating toll on a person's life, making it difficult to function, work. It increases disability, and it also increases the risk for suicide and early mortality. It contributes to cognitive decline in older adults and executive dysfunction in younger adults. Depression can be caused by inflammation, chronic illness, trauma, lack of access to resources, and countless other biological and socioeconomic factors. It has a systemic negative effect on the brain and overall health, and it increases the risk for all sorts of negative health outcomes, such as cancer, cognitive decline, and cardiovascular disease. In addition, it's a tricky disorder to treat. The gold standard treatments for depression include antidepressants and psychological therapy, and upwards of 50% of people do not benefit from receiving these treatments. Further, millions of people lack accessibility to affordable mental health care, and the stigma that accompanies seeking mental health care prevents many from getting the treatment they need. The effectiveness of these treatments for depression varies greatly from person to person, and there is no one cure-all for depression. So how do we rehabilitate this major cause of disability and suffering? I like to think there is an art to rehabilitation. To get more specific, I think artistic expression has untapped therapeutic benefits for rehabbing depression. The act of creating art can have a profound impact on a person's psychological and physical well-being. Artistic expression can produce a stabilizing effect on mood. It lowers levels of cortisol in the body, so it can help with stress. It helps to normalize blood pressure, and it can increase self-awareness and mindfulness. Art production stimulates different regions of the brain, and it alleviates distress due to chronic disease. And this has been shown across different medical and neurological populations. Creative expression can improve psychological resiliency in adults, and it is highly accessible to those with functional impairments. In my research, I investigate rehabilitation approaches for treating and managing depression, and I'm developing standardized creative art interventions derived from behavior change theory, which focus on improving self-efficacy, teaching mastery of a skill, and increasing knowledge of art as a method to cope, and implementing these self-regulation strategies to successfully manage symptoms of depression through learning how to paint. Within this intervention, we will also implement social modeling by having trained peer coaches lead detailed painting lessons in a group setting and stress-free environment. Painting involves the use of large and fine motor skills and planning and problem solving and focusing attention on a task. And we'll combine this with newsletters and other behavioral strategies implemented in physical activity interventions to help patients self-monitor their emotions and their use of art to express themselves and how it affects their mood. Painting in groups can be used to create a social context in which ill people are less subject to unnecessary suffering and excess disability. And for people with depression and chronic illnesses, creating art provides a method of learning new things and accomplishing goals, regardless of disability status, limited cognition, and without any prior experience necessary. Painting is a stimulating activity that is accessible to those with profound functional impairment, unlike other rehab approaches such as exercise training. It's a safer option to try at home rather than exercise training, by the way. And it's highly adaptable for those with disabilities. It's inexpensive, it's accessible, and it's easily implemented within community sites. Art, and painting in particular, can help with the reconciliation of intense emotions connected with dealing with a disease that's invisible to most. Depression exists alongside other diagnoses. This incurs a separate set of challenges in expressing oneself when dealing with disability and depression and other things that go along with it. But art allows people of all abilities to express themselves and find meaning and revel in beauty. And all of this serves to heal and manage depression, not cure it. And that is by providing a supportive environment, a focus on this person, and offering a success-oriented experience through painting. Currently, there is no cure for depression, but through combined efforts, connection, and art, it can be managed. And that is the art of rehabilitation. Thank you.